So no one could have anticipated COVID and the impact it would have on America and really the world, and in particular for those of us who are church leaders, on the church. I mean, starting in March of 2020, we locked the doors of the church building, and at the same time what we saw is a doubling and sometimes tripling of the number of people who are worshiping with us. We saw our people saying we want to do more to serve our community and to help, and so we provided more meals, we did more in serving people who are struggling. We had more people worshiping with us than we've ever had in the history of the church. Our giving was stronger than it's ever been, all while the church building was locked. It was just really remarkable. And part of what it reminded us of is we used to have a sign at Church of the Resurrection that said, when the building burns down and the preacher leaves town, what you have left is the church. And the church is the people. And what we learned was there's new ways to be the church. So it was pretty awesome, when we would gather for worship. And you knew that at any given weekend, we have between 22 and 40,000 people who are worshiping with us right now on TV and online. We would have never started a TV ministry had it not been for COVID. And that's reached all kinds of new non-religious people. It's been amazing, the people who were agnostics and atheists who started tuning in during COVID. And then watching to see, again, our people saying, how can we serve the community? What can we do? So we did some really fun things. We talked with the CEOs of area hospitals in Kansas City, and knowing that last year they were really struggling and burned out, we said, what can we do to support your people? We started providing meals for every single hospital worker, nurse, doctor, every janitor in the hospitals, at every hospital in Kansas City. We started showing up for doing events with signs and free ice cream and just trying to cheer them on. We expanded like tenfold the amount of food that we were donating to people who were struggling because they lost their jobs during COVID. And things like that, where we were just saying, look, this is a time for the church to be the church, and let's roll up our sleeves and do it. And I was just so proud of the way our people rose to the occasion and were the body of Christ. I mean, they were Jesus' presence. We were planning in this fall, to really launch a concerted effort to get people back, and then the Delta variant rises. And we're like, okay, we're trying to walk that line of saying, if you're ready and you're already going out to other things, come back to church, and we're being, we're practicing great, safe social distancing and COVID practices. And if you're not ready, then keep joining us online or on TV. We surveyed our congregation, and we found that of the people who have not yet come back for worship, so there's 50 or 60% of our people who have not been back in the building since COVID 2020. 50% of them said, I won't come back until I feel more safe as it relates to COVID being in a big room. And we found small churches tended to get back together more quickly. The larger the church, the more hesitant people are to gather in a room with 1,000 people or 1,500 people for worship. So our folks are saying we do want to come back. Although 30% of our people said, I really like this, worshiping online at home. I feel like it's real worship, and I'm not sure if I'll be back. I will be there every single Sunday. I'm giving my money, I'm volunteering to serve, doing all these things, and I can do that at home on TV or online. But a number of our people are just waiting to see, okay, is it safe to come back again? And that's again where the Delta variant has thrown a wrench in things for us. I did find, we surveyed our church and found 95% of our people, now only 1,100 people took the survey, but that's statistically enough for us to have a pretty good idea where our church is. And we held COVID vaccinations at the church. Over 40,000 vaccines were administered at Church of the Resurrection. And 95% of our people have said that they have already been vaccinated. So we've told folks at Resurrection, the safest place you might go any given week is to worship at Church of the Resurrection.